Story appears ordinary till you see the core side of it.
And what you're looking for is the story behind the news.
We bring it to you from Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria.
Giving you all sides and political stories round the clock.
Every detail from the start line to the final whistle.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
Hello and welcome to CoreTV Primetime News. I am Frank Omalape. In a major story, former Minister of Information Labaran Mako emerges governorship candidate of ABGA for Nasarawa State ahead 2015 poll. Also in this program, the Oba of Lagos, Rewan Akiolo, threatens showdown if APC governorship candidate fails to win next month's election in the state. In Ekiti State means blessings trail Governor Ayo Fayoshi's Christmas gifts as traders count losses and gains. Again in Ekiti State means blessings trail Governor Ayo Fayoshi's Christmas gifts as traders count losses and gains. And outside Nigeria, family holds United States responsible as a Libyan accused over the 1998 Al-Qaeda bombings of American embassies in Africa. Abu Anas al-Libi died days before he was to stand trial in New York. Thank you for joining us now. The People's Democratic Party in Edo State has accused the state government of misappropriating public funds and depleting the state's treasury to the tune of 142 million, which the governor said was recently used to commission 2 projects in the state. The state chairman of the party, Dan Aubrey, made the allegations at the Igbo Bazua in Ovia Southwest local government area of the state during a rally organized to welcome defectors from the All Progressive Congress. Aubrey, who was accompanied by some chieftains and candidates of the PDP, accused the state governor, Adams Oshomole, of signing off the sum of 76 million naira and 66 million naira on November 28 and 29, 2014 for the commissioning of projects by the presidential candidate of the APC, Muhammadu Buhari, and the national leader of the party, Bola Tinubu. Buhari had in November commissioned the 6-lane airport road and remodeled Imaguero College in Benin, while the former Lagos State governor inaugurated the 6-lane New Lagos Road and the General Hospital in Ewohimi on December 19. The All Progressive Congress Grand Alliance in Nasarawa State on Saturday presented the immediate past Minister of Information, Labaran Mako, as the governorship candidate of the party in the 2015 elections. Mako was represented along with his running mate, Ibrahim Abu Amid's tight security. Presenting the former minister to state and local government party executive at a meeting held at my Royal Suits in Lafia, the state capital, the chairman of the party in the state, Ifeanyi Amako, said the party considered the choice of Mako in the best interest of the party and of the people of the state. Amako reasoned that Mako was the candidate that possessed the required leadership, capacity and pedigree to win the governorship election on the platform of the ABGA in the state. Responding after he was presented to local government party executive committee, Mark pledged that if given the mandate, he will create massive youth empowerment and job opportunities in order to enhance the economy and bring about peaceful coexistence in the state. He added that he would provide just, fair, qualitative and result-oriented leadership that would bring about change and infrastructural development in the state when voted to power. As the nation gets set for the general elections, Lagos State Governor Babatunde Fashola has again appealed to youth in the country to support the All Progressive Congress. quest of changing the country for the better. Fashola, who made the appeal at a chat with student union leaders of the tertiary institution in Lagos, called on the youth to participate in the 2015 electoral process by voting for candidates that have the ability to reverse the trend of what he called underdevelopment.
Are we in the majority that things are not going well? If things are not well, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? Now, the point to make is simple. And I wanted to be sure that you and I were on the same page. This is the first time in all of this country's history, and I stand to be corrected, that we will have the opportunity as ordinary people, as citizens, to change a government that we are all agreed is not doing well.
Also speaking at the event, the vice presidential candidate of the APC, Yemi Osinbajo, reveals that the party will focus on people's-oriented programs if it emerges victorious.
Today, you and I know that there are over 110 million extremely poor people in Nigeria. Yet we have no social security. There's no social security. There's no welfare. There's no safety net for the very poor. So if a person is poor and disabled, or poor and elderly, the person is doomed to a life of misery. And what the APC is saying is that people must be the center of government.
The Oba of Lagos, Rewan Akiolu, who first predicted the emergence of Akinwumi Ambode as the APC governorship candidate for Lagos, has again dropped hint of his victory at the forthcoming poll. The Lagos monarch also warned against any attempt to rig the election in favor of the PDP governorship candidate in the state, Jimmy Agbaje, whom he described as a close relation.
I know, and I am unshaken in my belief, inshallah, by the grace of God Almighty, 15th, 16th, 17th of February, Akinwumi Ambode shall inshallah be announced as the next executive governor of this state. Go and notice what I'm saying. I'm very, very serious, and I mean it. And anybody who attempts, I repeat, who attempts to rig anything in Lagos here, they will have themselves to blame. I've made it abundantly clear to all the people concerned, and I'm serious about it. And I have my reason, I have seen it, and it will come to pass. This is our present governor. He had 95% opposition, including some top people who are benefiting from him today. They came to my palace and said he cannot make it. I said, you don't know what God has got in store for him. He will not only win, he will win clearly, and he's going to perform extremely well. Me Agbaje is my blood relation. Their father, the mother of their father, is from Suokun Onilegbale royal family. And I respect him. There was a time, at least 2 times in a week, he would come to my palace, very, very close to me. But what I have seen coming is Ambode. Take it like that.
Akiolu, who spoke exclusively to CoreTV News on the sideline of the just concluded Lagos countdown, also warns Nigerians and the nation's leaders to be honest in their deeds in order to achieve a desired country for all.
As far as I'm concerned, there is no problem. Provided we believe in God, we are honest in anything we are doing. And my way of life, I don't believe in deceit. I know all will be well. And by the grace of God Almighty Allah, we will soon come out of all our security identity, provided we are sincere, we cooperate with the authorities with honesty and sincerity of purpose. I will think of the less trodden people. We put their welfare into consideration.
Meanwhile, in the build-up to the forthcoming general elections, 2 Lagos-based politicians are lamenting the state of the nation. They said the problems in the country appeared too overwhelming for the Jonathan administration. The APC members who spoke with CoreTV News, however, stated that the ruling party in the country, the PDP, has not done enough to deserve another chance, especially at the center.
There's no employment. There's no job. They don't create job. Electricity is not there. Go to Europe, go to Saudi Arabia. 24 hours, you get electricity uninterrupted. No good government. And when there's no good government, so people are yearning for a change. That must be a change. I believe that must be a change.
The population of Nigeria is 160 million. I mean, the people who want changes is 140 million. The middle people, the lower people, the richest people we have, they are just less than few people. They can only be loud, shouting, making noise with their money. Well, when it comes to the real vote, the mass people come out and vote. People living in Ikoyi, living people in Abuja, they don't come out and vote. They only watch TV. It's people like us that come out with youth, the boys, the ladies, the women. They go out and vote for the right people, which is the General Muhammad Buhari.
The presidential candidates of the Alliance for Democracy, Rafiu Salau, on Saturday pledged to create 2 million jobs if elected into office in next month's election. Salau made the pledge while unfolding his manifesto in an interview with the news agency of Nigeria in Abuja. To attain such a feat, Salau said his administration will ensure more local content involvement in the exploration and sale of crude oil, as well as shipments by local maritime. Whatever the profit made by local companies, according to him, will be invested in the economy of the nation. This, he added, will go a long way in increasing the revenue that will be generated in the industry. He says this strategy will create 2 million jobs and increase oil revenue. Salau said the national revenue being spent on the importation of oil products and subsidy will no longer be spent on consumption but invested on capital goods. With echoes of the year 2014 still to die, some Lagos residents have challenged the federal government to do everything in its power to provide solutions to problems besieging the country. The made this known against their expectation in the year 2015. A correspondent, Omotayalo, has more in this report.
Aside from the usual yearly individual resolutions and goals setting for personal development, these Lagosians said top priority on their list of expectations from government in the new year is security and improved standard of living for the average Nigerian.
They should establish a means of helping the traders, as in terms of giving us loan.
Neat environments and adequate security. That's the most important thing. When we make money, we need more security.
Our youth need jobs, and then we need security in the country.
All this Boko Haram, make them help us. Stop all that nonsense. That's what we want.
In the much-awaited general elections, these Lagos residents won against political thuggery and violence, stating that it would not help the current insecurity the country is battling with.
Whatever is going to cost the nation to fight Boko Haram, I'm in support. And I want to appeal to Nigerians not to leave the fight for the government alone, especially those from the far northeast and part of Nigeria, should join hands with the military for any useful information they can give to bring Boko Haram to their knees.
There should not be anything like bloodshed during the election of this year. Then the government should take proper care of the citizens of this country, because people are suffering. It is only the politicians that are enjoying this country. That is the fact.
Anybody that loses the election should take it the way God wants it, not to go and employ hoodlums so that I must swing by force. This is government for the people, not my own government.
Though issues such as unemployment, poor electricity supply, low standard of education remain a challenge for these residents, safety of life stands out. They also called for another look at the issue of the Chibok girls, urging government and all Nigerians to patiently seek their rescue from the Boko Haram group. Omotayalo, CoreTV News, Lagos.
You're still watching CoreTV Primetime News. Gunmen killed Kaduna traditional ruler in ambush. Find out why after this timeout. To join us again.
Mommy Bolale Ekaro, Yakudi Ekaro, customer.
Make we dey always follow our conscience, because e dey tell us the correct thing.
I suppose Sabi waiting good.
Do the right thing. Let's change the way we think.
You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTV Primetime Days.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. And Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then News. CoreTV News, a 24-hour news station.
You're still watching CoreTV Primetime News. If you just join us, here is a quick reminder of our top stories for today. Former Minister of Information, Labaran Mako, emerges governorship candidate of ABGA for Nasarawa State ahead 2015 poll. The Oba of Lagos, Rewan Akiolu, threatens showdown if APC governorship candidate fails to win next month's election in the state. In Ekiti State, Miss Blessings Trail Governor Ayo Farishi sends mass gifts as traders have losses and gains. You can also reach us on our social media platforms. Visit our Facebook page, is facebook.com/CoreTV News. You can also log on to our Twitter handle at CoreTV News NG. And for our previous news production, log on to youtube.com/CoreTV, leave a space, the news. The recent distribution of food items, chickens and cash in Ekiti during the last Christmas and New Year celebration may have brought relief to several homes and families in the state. It has also resulted in deep pocket for some, especially traders of livestock and rice dealers in the state. A correspondent for Assurance sampled the opinions of concerned parties on the effects of the governor's largesse and brought back this report.
The Christmas and New Year celebrations may have come and gone. The memories will linger for some time to come. This is not unconnected to the stomach infrastructure policy of the Fayose administration, which was explored to its fullest during the festive season. But how did traders involved in the sale of rice and livestock, especially chickens, fared in terms of business during the period?
Torí àwa lélẹ̀ a kì í ṣe bọ́dún dé a kì í ṣe bọ́dún kò sígbà tá kì í ta Greek mi báyìí kò sígbà tá tí ń ta Greek rárá.
So the governor tried, you understand, by assisting the poor people, you understand. But I want to tell you, we fowl seller, you understand, this year in fact it has never come up like this, you understand. Immediately the governor started giving out broilers, you understand. It affects our own markets, you understand.
Akerimola added that the supply of chickens was taken away from local breeders by the government, thus compounding their woes.
Formerly, the government used to give some farmers, you understand, let me just say turkey to supply, you understand. But this year, in fact, things turns around, you understand. They went to other neighboring country, neighboring states, you understand, to buy their turkeys, broilers and what have you.
Trust politicians to read meaning into everything. For the leadership of the All Progressives Congress in the state, Fayose's act of not buying from local breeders is a break away from the norm. But for the PDP chairman, Fayose has done what is right for the masses, especially when he was able to manage the meager resources available to him.
As against the norms that exist in 2013, December, when poultry farmers are the ones that are supplying the fowls and everything, when the rice sellers are the ones that are supplying the rice, it is the governor and his immediate family that are doing that now.
Well, your that statement is very funny. The governor has been so magnanimous to use that to increase the occasion or to assist the Ekiti people. He bought this at a very, very reasonable rate, and he distributed it to the actual set of people that need to collect these items.
For Richard Jesu, a resident of Ekiti, it's a win-win situation for all.
It's not everybody that can afford to buy chicken. So if the governor decides to give chicken out to people, he's just trying to be generous. He's just trying to be a generous governor. It doesn't affect sales. Whoever is not contented with whatever the governor gives out, he can go to the market and buy as much as he wants.
Obviously, there are lessons to be taken from the development as business activities pick up in the new year. Rashid, CoreTV News, Ado Ekiti.
Away from that now, government have killed a traditional ruler in Kaduna State. Yohana Sinkot, the district head of Zanga, was killed in an ambush at the weekend. Local residents say the gunman shot the district head at close range in his car. The incident, which happened around 8 p.m. on Friday, has now thrown the community into confusion. This is because the area has since April 2013 witnessed a number of killings, which members of the community have described as a systematic attempt to wipe them out. The chairman of Mango local government area in the Plateau, Caleb Muftang, on Saturday confirmed 7 persons killed in recent attacks. Muftang said in just that the area witnessed some security challenges in which lives were lost. He revealed the attacks occurred in Mautumbu, Jangwa Tumbu, and Kiampons, Mairanas, Sabot and Kantoma villages and their immediate environs. According to him, the enemy struck in the night of December 26 and shot one Yoila Maker, died in his residence in Wak Maitumbi. He said that while the community was recovering from the attack, the gunman struck again on Tuesday and shot 2 men riding on a motorcycle, killing and beheading one Longi Mikes, where another unnamed person escaped with gunshot wounds. Muvwang said the killing precipitated violence in parts of the local government and attracted the attention of the special task force, which had moved in to ensure peace. He, however, said that following the killing, some youths tracked the killers by tracing the blood mark to the house of one Alhaji Wada, a Fulani resident of the community. He added that upon their request to search the house, someone came out with a gun and shot randomly at the youth, injuring some of them. Angered by the reaction, the youth went on rampage and burnt some houses belonging to Fulani residents and causing the death of a Fulani man on a visit from Barikin Ladi. Meanwhile, the crisis rocking some communities in Nasarawa State is taking a toll on many inhabitants and has forced many of them out of business. But some members of the largely agrarian communities have now converted their farming skills into creating a local quarry. A correspondent Pius Samuel reports that the aged ones are also passing on the newly acquired skills to their children.
A truckload of these stones from this local quarry is sold for between 3,000 and 5,000 naira. That's about $30. But it takes this family almost a month to break and gather this pile. For now, they have to break some more stones to add up to this before putting them up for sale. This is the rock they blasted. They do it by igniting fire around it for hours and sometimes days. They trek long distances in search of sizable mountain which they could explore. After a long search, they finally settle here. But first, one may wonder what these children will be doing here when other kids are in school. Adamu is 11 years. He says he ran from his village when gunmen invaded the community and killed all his family members. For him, survival means a lot, hence the need to engage in this business.
This job is stressful. I have never done this kind of job before. I left school in the village because some people came to our village and started shooting and killing people, so I had to run for my life.
The experience of what bedeviled their village is still a shock to this little girl. So, she says helping her mother here became necessary as all their property and farm produce have been destroyed by gunmen. She maintains that she will want to go to school, But for now, this local quarry site is all that the family has for survival.
We have been working here for some time. We have to work hard every day. I want to go to school, but my mother have no money to send me to school.
From the same site, there are varieties of stones. This woman, apart from blasting the rock, she also can sense where some other rocks are hidden in the ground. So, she had to dig for several minutes before she could find the stones. As they continue in search of their daily bread, they still nurse hope that respite will come their way soon to enable them go back to their village. For these kids, breaking of stone is a daily routine before they will be able to have bread on their table. And today, they have also resumed here as early as 5:30 a.m. to make sure that they have the quantity of stones that they desire that will give them the financial strength they are looking for. Pius Samuel, CoreTV News, Nasarawa, Egon.
You're still watching CoreTV Primetime News. We'll take another break and return with business, sports, and stories outside Nigeria. Stay with us.
Every day, every hour, and every minute, news break in Nigeria. Things happen so fast, it's most times difficult to track and comprehend them. But that's what we do right here on Digi360.
2015, would you want to come back again?
It's like asking Jesus Christ if he knew he was going to die, will you want to come back as the savior of the world again?
We do not just help you track the stories, we break them down, explore all the angles, analyze the issues so that you can fully comprehend the stories and use them to make the right decisions.
And in business tonight, the federal government has extended the execution of the capital component of the 2014 budget by 3 months from the initial date of December 31, 2014 to the last day of March 2015. CoreTV News learns that the extension became imperative owing to the late passage of the fiscal document by the National Assembly. According to information, the difficulties being encountered in the government's quest to raise revenue owing to the massive drop in oil prices since June might have affected the release of funds. Findings revealed that out of the 1.1 trillion naira budgeted for capital expenditure in 2014, only 610 billion naira has been released to the MDAs 2 days to the end of the year. The Director General Budget Office of the Federation, Bright Okogo, confirmed the figure in his review of the performance of the 2014 budget. It says the 2014 budget implementation recurrent releases are on track. For capital, he says 610 billion has been released, most of which has been fully cash-backed and being utilized. Okogo listed some of the challenges facing the economy in terms of revenue generation, to include average oil production of 2.2 million barrels per day as against 2.38 million barrels per day budgeted. Oil price falling from about $114 per barrel in June to about $60 presently. The Director General also said that under remittance of internally generated revenue by some MDAs was affecting the raising of the revenue needed to execute the budget. The Central Bank of Nigeria is set to review the guidelines for accessing its 220 billion naira micro, small and medium enterprises development fund to ensure easy access this year. Acting Director Development Finance Department of CBN, Mudashiru Olaitan, who spoke at a recent workshop on framework for 220 billion naira micro, small and medium enterprise development fund, said 5 commercial banks had already signed a memorandum of understanding with CBN on the way forward. Olaito said the commercial banks were, however, foot-dragging because of the small volume of the lending under the fund and the little profit margin from the intermediation role. According to CBN, the loan will be given out at 3% interest rate, but commercial microfinance and development banks went 9%. He added that the CBN launched the fund to close the financing gap of the subsector estimated at 9.6 trillion naira as of 2010. Olaitoli said the institutions involved to include United Bank for Africa, Sky Bank, Guarantee Trust Bank, Zenith Bank, and Fidelity Bank. According to an online newspaper report, Nigeria's Naira, Ghana's Cedi, and Zambia's Kwacha have been named the worst performing African currencies in 2014 as falling commodities prices take a toll on some of the biggest continent's economies. The Naira shed about 13.5% in 2014, while South Africa's rand fell over 10%, while the Kenyan and Ugandan shillings yielded about 4.5%. Respectively. On November 25, the Central Bank of Nigeria devalued the Naira by 8% from 155 Naira to 168. The CBN blamed the Naira slide on falling oil prices and speculations by currency dealers. The cedi lost about 27% in 2014, one sign of a fiscal crisis in an economy that grew strongly in previous years on gold, cocoa, and oil export. The cedi slumped around 40% earlier last year. And while Zambia's Kwacha is ended the year on the back foot amid tax rolls with mining houses, a lower growth forecast, and a looming election. And away from business now to sports, chief coach of the national under-23 men's football team Dream Team 6, Samson Siaksa, has released the list of 35 home-based and 4 foreign-based players selected from the screening exercise in Abuja to camp for the final phase of preparation for the team's first game against Gabon. According to a release by the media officer of the team, Timi Ebikagboro, the players were expected to arrive at the Serob Hotel camp of the team on the 4th of January, should come with their international passports. Coach Siasia disclosed that the team's training will now move into more serious phase as he and his technical team have been able to select the boys from the men, and that this is the time to go into tactical. Of former Super Eagles winger Teslim Fatoussi says Stephen Kash's decision to keep Obafemi Martins out of the 2015 African Cup of Nations qualifiers cost Nigeria a place in the continental finals. He went on to state that Nigeria squandered a gilt-edged chance to defend their title in the tournament after the Eagles battled to a 2-2 draw against South Africa in the Group A last qualifying match in Uyo on November 19, when they needed just a win to seal their place in the finals. The three-time champions finished third in the group with 8 points, leaving South Africa and Congo to book the 2 automatic qualification spots with 12 and 10 points respectively. Fatoussi, who has expressed his disappointment at Nigeria's failure to qualify for the January 17 to February 8 Equatorial Guinea 2015 showpiece, believes Kashi made a mistake to ignore Martins in spite of the 30-year-old's rich vein of form for his Major League Soccer club. The Nigerian manager slammed the door shut on the former Newcastle striker after his unimpressive performance against Kenya in the Brazil 2014 World Cup qualifying game in Calabar on March 23, 2013. Atletico Madrid midfielder Koke has lauded his club's achievements in luring Fernando Torres back to the club. According to Soccerway, the La Liga champions confirmed during the week that Torres will return to Atletico on loan from Milan when the transfer window opens on January 5, with Italian forward Alessio Chessi expected to head the other way as part of the deal, although that has not yet been verified. Torres will return to the Vicente Calderon, where he made his professional debut in 2001 as a shadow of the player that left La Liga for Liverpool in 2007, according to many pundits, but Koke does not agree. Torres left Atletico with 82 goals in 214 league games to his name, while the Spaniard was also a success at the Anfield, hitting the back of the net 65 times in 102 Premier League matches for Liverpool. The Madrid-born forward did not win a trophy in 3.5 seasons with Liverpool and joined Chelsea in January 2011, hoping to fill that void. While Torres will pick up UEFA Champions League, UEFA Europa League and FA Cup winners' medals with Chelsea, He never settled at Stafford Bridge and was widely lambasted for his woes in front of goal, managing just 20 goals in 110 Premier League games. Well, we'll take a break now. We'll be back with more stories outside Nigeria. Do join us again.
You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website, www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTV Primetime Days.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then News. CoreTV News, a 24-hour news station.
Outside Nigeria now, a Libyan accused over 1999 Al-Qaeda bombings of U.S. embassies in Africa died days before he was to stand trial in New York, his lawyer and family said. Abu Anas al-Libi, 50, was on the FBI's most wanted list with a $5 million price on his head when he was captured by U.S. troops in the Libyan capital Tripoli in October 2013. He and Saudi businessman Khalid Al-Fawaz were due to stand trial on January 12 over the attacks on the U.S. embassies in Kenya and Tanzania that killed 224 people and wounded around 5,000. Libby, a computer expert, died at a hospital in the New York area on Friday. His lawyer, Bernard Clayman, told the Washington Post that the health of his client, who had advanced liver cancer, had deteriorated significantly in the last month. Libby and Fawaz both previously pleaded not guilty to conspiracy charges. A third suspect, Egyptian Abdel Barry, last year pleaded guilty to playing a role in the 1998 attacks. Libby's son Abdel Moin confirmed by telephone from Tripoli early Saturday that his father had been in a coma before his death and that the family holds the U.S. government fully responsible for his demise. Libby, who also suffered from hepatitis C, was detained by U.S. commandos on October 5, 2013 and interrogated on board a U.S. warship before being handed over to FBI agents on October 12 and flown to New York. And now search teams scouring the Java Sea for the wreckage of AirAsia flight QZ-851 have found 4 large objects, Indonesian officials say. Search and Rescue Agency Chief Bambang Solisto says an underwater vehicle was being lowered to take pictures. Meanwhile, the Indonesia Weather Agency has said that bad weather was the biggest factor behind the crash. The jet disappeared with 162 people on board while flying from Surabaya in Indonesia to Singapore last Sunday. So far, 30 bodies have been recovered in the search. No survivor had been found, and the main sections of the Airbus A220 have not been retrieved. Most bodies are thought to have been trapped in the plane's fuselage. Suelisto also confirmed that the large object had been detected by sonar from an Indonesian Navy ship. He says the larger of the object was 10 meters by 5, but that strong currents made operating the underwater vehicle difficult. Report says that the discovery could be the breakthrough search teams have been hoping for. Well, and that's a wrap on CoreTV Primetime News. Just before we go, here's a quick reminder of what made headlines today. We told you that former Minister of Information, Labaran Mako, emerges governorship candidate of Abga for Nasarawa State ahead 2015 poll. We also reported that the Oba of Lagos, Rewan Akiolu, threatens showdown if APC governorship candidate fails to win next month's election in the state. In Ekiti State, Miss Blessings trailed Governor Ayo Fayoshi's Christmas gifts as traders count losses and gains. Thank you for being part of CoreTV Primetime News tonight. On behalf of the entire news crew, I am Frank Omalabe, wishing you a wonderful night rest. Good night.